Thank you for taking the time to view the video series on Firefly. There are going to be 3 different videos that give a high-level overview of each of the products, Firefly Host, Firefly Perimeter, and Virtual Director, and gives not only the overview in a few slides, but some demonstrations with the user interface going over the main modules of the product. This first part is just an overview to help level set how the products are used and positioned. At a very high level, Juniper is committed to 3 lines of business: the routing, security, and switching portfolios. On the routing side, of course, that's the MX lineup. The switching is QFabric and EX. And in the security realm, we have our physical SRX, but also virtual versions of our products. And this set of solutions in Firefly drills in a lot more on those aspects. So certainly the market for virtualization is here to stay. This is definitely not a fad. We see lots of enterprises and service providers moving to cloud and virtualization technologies. There's predictions by Gartner like this that say 20% of the VPN and firewall market will be deployed in a virtual format by 2015. Those are some very aggressive numbers and really showing a sea change, if you will, for how people run their data centers. Virtualization is a big part of those efforts, and there are a set of products that Juniper offers to plug in and secure those environments. Really, from a trends perspective, these are probably familiar to anyone watching this video series. There's really a shift from the physical networks to virtual networks and overlays. The regular boundaries that you could draw and simply put a firewall in front of the edge of your data center and expect that that's going to be the level of protection that you need has really gone away. There's blurred boundaries, there's mobile. All of these things make it very difficult to protect assets, and a real need exists for solutions that are dynamic and can plug in there and provide a level of protection for each of the important assets in an environment. So no longer is there this idea that you're going to over provision your hardware and just throw extra x86 at a single application in case that it does burst. Those kinds of ideas are going away with cloud technology, and the idea that you can burst out onto a set of infrastructure as necessary and not have to dedicate hardware to certain applications. The idea of VMs sharing a single x86 platform is very sound, and there's security ramifications all through that. So definitely a set of changes and challenges that exist from going from traditional physical networks to cloud and virtual data centers. There are several use cases that the Firefly product will fit into along those ideas of the market shift and the trends for data centers. On the first part of this slide, you see private cloud. So this is just enterprises wanting to segment, say, HR from finance in a virtual environment. Our solutions can definitely help with that. There's also cloud service providers who are doing more public cloud infrastructure where they're out trying to host multiple customers, customer A, B, and C in an infrastructure, and isolate those customers from one another to allow customers to have cloud-based applications and VMs connected back to their local data center and do so in a secure fashion. VPN technology that's used in that, and just a set of policies that's coherent from a local system to the items that are in the cloud. So we definitely can help cloud service providers. Many of them have used our technologies that you'll see here in this video series. There's another avenue of managed service providers who traditionally are used to racking physical SRXs, for example, and just kind of dedicating these out to a handful of customers, or in some cases a customer per physical SRX. And these types of customers are looking to alter the way that they do that so that they can deliver their services faster. They don't want a rack of physical SRX and take 15, 20, 30 days to onboard a new customer because of that process. They want to onboard a customer in a matter of minutes and have a dynamic infrastructure to support that. So there's a real shift in the market between cloud CPE and traditional physical CPE infrastructures for managed services, and our products fit into that as well. And then in the fourth use case, the lower right hand corner, there's a lot of potentials where customers have maybe a lot of remote sites. They're currently shipping out a branch office SRX and an x86 to run a set of applications. For example, a retail store who needs to have a certain set of applications running in that remote location, as well as security for those applications. And instead of shipping multiple servers out there to run the apps and then a physical SRX to run the security for those apps, the idea that, hey, we could load all of this up on a single x86 box and ship that and have our apps and our security all integrated in one and plug it into Metro Ethernet and bang, you're off and running. So there's those sorts of use cases. There's military applications in which you have a ruggedized server that's on a ship or a tank or something like that, and the idea of being able to embed the security in that specific x86 box that's been tested and validated is another area where the beauty of having security in a VM, you can do lots of different things, lots of form factors can take shape for it. So a lot of different models. It's important to understand what you're trying to do in an infrastructure and how you're trying to use and protect the environment because the Firefly suite has different deployment modes which help you meet these needs based on what you're trying to do. So identifying that and then being able to kind of map that into the product set is an important aspect. So again, there's three different pieces of the Firefly suite: Firefly Host, Virtual Director, and Firefly Perimeter. At a very high level, Firefly Perimeter is an SRX set of code in a VM, take away the sheet metal and the power cable, and SRX 550, kind of the lower end of the branch. It's certainly not an equivalent to a 5800, right? I mean, it's on the lower side of the branch because it's a VM. But we have that form factor, very flexible, loaded in different environments. And the Virtual Director application works in conjunction with Security Director to allow you to do provisioning and modification of security policies, all from our space management framework. So Virtual Director was brand new and released along Perimeter this January in 2014. Firefly Host, some people may know this by the name VGW. We rebranded it. This is a version of software that integrates very tightly into the hypervisor to give very high speed firewalling and a lot of visibility tools like introspection and a compliance monitor and some other items that don't exist in Firefly Perimeter. In Firefly Perimeter, you have routing and VPN and that doesn't exist in Firefly Host. So depending on your use case, for example, if you're public cloud infrastructure and you're wanting to provide VPN back to local prem, then Firefly Perimeter becomes an attractive option there because that's where the VPN functionality exists. So these three solutions form the Firefly suite right now. You can take a look at the very specific product videos for each one of these to get a few more slides, some more detail around the products themselves, and then a real look at the user interface and some of the main functionality in the preceding videos.